Hello, welcome guys. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. So today, the first 10 minutes or so, I'm going to give you a review of this fantastic keyboard, okay? This is a new keyboard. This is not ergonomic. This is this is the KEMOVE, okay, keyboard. So let's turn on the light. So this is the KEMOVE keyboard, okay? And they sent it to me for review, and I think it's fantastic. So I'm gonna talk for 15 minutes about this keyboard. Then I'm going to, let's turn on the light. Fantastic color. So you cannot see. So that's when we need to turn off this. So we're gonna do the review of this keyboard for 10 to 15 minutes. Then I'm going to code Emacs Lisp. Okay, fantastic Emacs Lisp. You can see the topic in the link on the YouTube. Okay, so yeah. So let me get my tea. Be right back. Video check, audio check, fantastic. And let's begin. So I just put this keyboard on my desktop now. So this is pretty new. So I'm not used to it yet. And this keyboard is programmable. So it has internal memory, which is the important thing. Okay, internal memory. So can you see it clearly? Let me try this, okay? Let's try. No, actually, this is a better cam. Okay, so let's try this. This camera doesn't have autofocus, so let's try this. Okay, this is a lousy camera. So anyway, so this keyboard, okay, KEMOVE. So you can find it on my blog. If you go to Xah, search for Xah keyboard, and it's under this section, normal. Okay, so let's go back. So under the section normal, and let me show you. Okay, so there, the first one, Bluetooth. Okay, so let me tell you about the keyboard. Okay. Okay, so it's it's programmable, and I'm pretty impressed. Normally I'm an ergonomic keyboard guy, right? As you know, you see, I have this bulky giant, Advantage 2, Kinesis Advantage 2 keyboard, but I'm gonna do review, so I'm gonna use this one, and this is the first time I'm using it on my desktop. This would be great for me using lying in bed. This is red switch. So okay, let me start from the beginning. So this is a Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth 5.1. You can use it wireless or you can use it plugged in. So it's got a let me show you the cable. So this is the cable. So on one side, you have the USB-C. The USB-C goes to the keyboard, okay? On the other side, you have the USB-A, okay? So let's see, USB, the standard USB-A plug. But however, there's a twist. Let me show you the photo here. You see, this USB-A plug, they made it special so that there is no sleeve, so you can plug it in either side. Doesn't matter, So you no longer have that side problem. So you can plug it in, then it'll charge. It got a huge battery, something like the 3,000 ampere battery. I don't know exactly how the relative size of that, but anyway, that supposedly it's a big battery, so lasts long. So you can use Bluetooth, or you can plug it in and use it connected wired, or wired, and it'll charge the keyboard. And it can connect to 3 computers. So let me go over the basic features, and you can read about them. So full N key rollover. So you have, when you are plugged in, when you are plugging wired, then you have full N key rollover, meaning that you can press 10 keys or 20 keys simultaneously, and it will be detected correctly. Okay, but when you are using Bluetooth, then it's 6 keys, simultaneous keys together maximum. So you can read about N key rollover and ghosting. What do they mean? It's very interesting. This is one of the feature where gaming keyboards like to talk about, because when you game, you want to press multiple keys at the same time. And onboard memory, this is important, this is critical. That means you can program the keyboard to do macros, and then you can bring it to work or connect it to another computer. You don't need to install any software or driver. All your macros will work because they are stored in the memory, firmware, the programmable memory. So onboard memory, this is important. On the other hand, if you buy Razer keyboard, the gamer idiots, the gamers brand Razer, they remove the onboard memory, and they require you to connect to the internet and cloud. Those are no good. So you always want when you buy a keyboard, you want it to be programmable, and you want it to have onboard memory. Okay, look for that feature. Okay, so onboard memory and fully programmable, and you can program key macros as well, and you have 4 layers. But however, I haven't tried to install the software yet. You need to install the software in order to program the onboard memory. I haven't done that yet. I just got this yesterday. I was pretty impressed, and okay, let me talk about each one of the features one by one. If you have questions for me, ask for me, okay, and donate, okay, put money in my pocket. So onboard memory and hot swappable gate-around mechanical switches, okay. I'm not going to take out the switch. You got I wasn't prepared to do a review of this keyboard, but I was just going to use it to do Emacs coding, so show you how I use this keyboard live. So it's hot swappable gate-around key switches. Right now I'm using gate-around red. You see, because I require red. And the keycap is the highest quality PBT double shot keycaps, meaning that I wasn't prepared to do this, but PBT double shot keycap. So let me explain what it means. So keycaps, there are many different technologies to do keycaps. Look at my screen, okay? So the most common and cheap is ABS plastic, and when you have that, you get this wear shine. You probably have seen it, and in many bad cases it looks like that. So this is Apple keyboard. You have this situation, severe, very big problem. And so that's ABS plastic. You have that problem, okay, but PBT plastic type of chemical, which is what this one have, you don't have that problem. So this is PBT keycaps. That's fantastic. Okay, then let me show you about the key label technology. So when you buy a Logitech non-gaming keyboard or Microsoft keyboard, you have this technology for the key label, which is essentially like a sticker. So with this, it wears out. It wears out after half a year. If you type a lot, it wears out in a year. And then you have several other technologies for key labels. So for example, you have laser etched. So that's laser. Then you have laser. So this one is laser. You just use laser to burn it. But the problem, the flaw with this approach is that you don't have color. Sometimes you want, for example, this apple to be red or something, or blue. You don't have that. You just, because it's just burned plastic. So another technique is you burn it, then you kind of paint into the groove. So this is what's a technical name? Laser engraved and filled with paint. Okay, so that's another technology for key labels. Okay, then thank you of Lamio. Thank you. So key label technology, laser etched and laser engraved with paint. Then you have dye sublimation. Okay, that's another technology. This is superior than the laser or the stickers. So dye sublimation is essentially it's high quality. You see, I'm right now. What does that key do? Because right now I'm in the new environment, so all my key markers is not working as I know them. So anyway, so dye sublimation is a quality technology to do key labels. Okay, and this way it will not wear off neither. Then you have, okay, let's magnify. I don't have my keys, so that's dye sublimation. And so right now you can look at your keyboard and look at them closely and see, the key labels, what kind of quality they are. So Apple also used dye sublimation. Then the kind of the best and more expensive technology for key labels is double shot injection molding. So that means, look at this enter key. So that means, basically the key label became part of the plastic. It's part of the plastic. So it will never, ever run off, wear off. So that's called double shot injection. Why is it double shot? Because you can see there's actually two plastics, you kind of merge them together. So one is for the keycap, the key labels is actually a plastic inside it. They merge them together. So this keyboard, this KEMOVE, is using the double shot. So it's the highest quality, okay, double shot injection for the keycap. So in summary, the key labels is double shot injection. Then the keycap is using this high quality PBT plastic material. Okay, so let's go back. I don't have my key markers. Okay, so any questions? Okay, so that's the keycaps and key labels. Okay, it's fantastic. We talked about the label, the cables, and there's a feet. So there's a feet. I should show you. Let's see. I'll just use this thing. I'll just use this camera. So there's a feed. It's, really high quality. I was kind of impressed. But of course, I don't use the feed because from ergonomic point of view, you want your keyboard to tilt this way, not this way. This is traditional. That's actually not good because your hand is gonna bend up. You rather wanted your hand to bend down. So for real ergonomic reasons, you want the keyboard to tilt this way. But this keyboard cannot do that. For the normal PC keyboard. So what's the next thing? Okay, so let me show you. So next thing, you got a different keycaps. I'm not going to show it. You included is 3 extra keycaps. Remember, it's hot swappable, so you can replace it with any key switch, not keycap. Okay, that's about it for this keyboard. So you can just go to my website and check it out. Okay, if you I have to use ergonomic ones. But while in bed, I use this because it's small and portable. And the problem, one of the issue with ergonomic keyboard is that you can almost never find a Bluetooth one. They are all wired, except this one I talked about in my last video. This is upcoming. This is coming out, this year, in a few months. And they are expensive, $300, $350, of course. And Kinesis Advantage, which is what I have right now, $340 something. So, and they are all wired except this one. So that's why, Bluetooth. And also you need Bluetooth, not just wireless, because, for example, on a tablet, I have a Surface Pro. I can show you that. So you see, Surface Pro, there's only one USB. So, once you plug, it's a problem. You walk around, you have to unplug and plug in. That's a problem. And also only one USB port. So if you plug in a mouse and a keyboard, then you cannot plug in a keyboard and so on. And if you use wireless, wireless dongle, that also occupies a USB hole, so no good. So you actually want Bluetooth. So that's why Bluetooth is very useful. And plus, I just got a MacBook Air M1. So let me show you. Let's go miscellaneous tech. Okay, MacBook M1. So why is this key not doing what I wanted? My key macro. So by the way, this keyboard you see here, I'm using it as a key macro. That's the ultimate hacking keyboard. Okay. So, but what is going on now? So let's look at it. Yeah, let me show you the ultimate hacking keyboard software. So I'm using, so right now I'm using the Vorak layout. You can see, because I don't have this program for Vorak yet, so I'm using the Windows Vorak layout. And when you do that, all your macros doesn't work anymore because they are still sending QWERTY keys. So you have to create a different layout just for Vorak. Okay, so this key, so I don't know if you can see it here. So this key should press F11. Oh, I know why it's not working. Because, fairly complicated. Because then I have Microsoft Power Toy that is remapping the F11 key. Let's see, Keyboard Manager. Yeah, you see? So F11 is now doing Control-Shift-Tab. No wonder. Yeah. Well, okay, I'm not gonna fix it now. Let's get on to Emacs. I want to do some Emacs Lisp coding. Okay, so let me tell you about Apple M1 MacBook Air. I got this 2 months ago, and there's only 2 USB ports. There's no power port, so one of the 2 ports, those are USB-C. So even for power, you have to use USB-C. So once you plug in power, you don't have any ports anymore. So you need Bluetooth. It becomes kind of necessary. And also there's no, anyway, Bluetooth. So okay, I think that's it for my review of the KEMOVE DK61 keyboard. Okay, you go out and buy it. Let's see, anything I missed? Oh yeah, the light show. Let me show you some of the light show. Okay, so you can turn it off, you can turn it on, then you can adjust the brightness. You see, this is the lowest brightness. Then you can maximize the brightness, so it's not too dark here, so you cannot see so well. So then you can change the color. White, this is yellowish, orange, this is yellow, green, blue, purple. Well, this is purple, and white, and rainbow, and red. Okay, and then you can change the, you know, there are so many flashy kind of things. So for example, you know, you press a key, it stays there for a while. Then you change another mod. This is random color, I guess. Let's see, let's show you here closer. So then you got this random, then you got this random, then you got this random, then you got single color. Okay, so it breath is, then you got, you know, slow shifting of colors. Then you got that's also slow shifting of colors. Then you got shifting of colors from the middle. Then you got, okay, each row's got a color, then it shifts. Then you got, okay, rainbow color shifting from left to right. Then you got rotation, color rotation. Then you got, okay, this is none. Then you got, yeah, then you got the bomb kind of thing. Okay, that's the color. Now I don't want any color. I don't want any of the. Then you got the, you know, these RGB things got so many. God. Yeah, I want just stable. Okay, and turn it off now. Turn back the light on. Okay, so that's it about the keyboard. Now let's do Emacs Lisp. Let's code Emacs Lisp. Let me read the comments, then let's code Emacs Lisp. It's gonna be fantastic. Discord Coffee House sounds like Logitech K845 I just bought last week. Oh, okay. So why do I want a keyboard with internal memory? I have just explained that. That's actually the most important feature for me. You know, well, I want an ergonomic keyboard, but one of the most important feature is you want internal memory. Okay, I explained that. I'm using Emacs Linux. It can hold execute macro. Okay, so Emacs Linux, no. Just fine. No, that's incorrect. What is Emacs Linux? You know, so let me talk about keyboard macro. Why is the internal memory important? Okay, it's actually critical because, okay, so you go to my blog, then you go to software how to. Okay, then well, you go to key binding design. Why alt tab is no good. This is a new article on the page by itself. You go to layout, key binding design, type in software how to. Okay, you go to normal, Then you go to, let's magnify, okay? Yeah, all my macros not working. Yeah, okay, let's just magnify this way. Okay, PC keyboard. Switch mechanism, keyboard firmware, okay? So keyboard firmware, this is all about keyboard firmware. What are the differences? What kind of firmware are there? Example of firmware capabilities, keyboard firmware, they have many different features. Okay, here, advantage of firmware over operating system remap. Okay, let me explain that one. Then we're gonna get onto Emacs Lisp coding. So, for example, operating system software remap. For example, I'm on, of you Linux or whatever. You can use operating system. Right now, I'm using a tool called PowerToys. Okay, it's a great tool. Okay, you can also see on my website. I have an article on that. Let's go. Let's show it. Software how to open it. So Microsoft Windows, this is all about software for keyboard for Microsoft Windows. And click on that, you can see Microsoft PowerToys. So one of the feature of Microsoft PowerToys is it allows you to remap keys. For example, for me, caps lock is now home, alt left is F9, and so on. So this is operating system based key remap. And it sucks, okay, compared to keyboard firmware. Why? Because sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, for example, I can show you an example right now. For example, let me press the app key. Okay, so can you see it? Yeah, so let me press this key. What this key do is it'll send Alt Control Tab. So it lets me to switch a program without holding the Alt down. So you see, if I want that program, I just press a key. You see, I press one key, then switch to the program I want, press space, I got it there. So this is a keyboard key remap. So I press the menu key, the app menu key, it sends Alt Control Tab. Okay, now it doesn't work. For example, when you let me start the task manager. Okay, so that's Alt Control Escape. Okay, no, that's Control Shift Escape. There it is. Okay, task manager in Windows, right? You are familiar with this. Now let's try the menu app key again. Do it. It doesn't work. You see, escape. You see, it's supposed to press Alt Control Tab to allow me to switch around. So that's a problem, and that's just one of the examples. There are lots of examples. Same thing on Linux. Same thing on Linux too. Lots of situations it doesn't work. So, but if you have if I download the software for this keyboard right now and program it into the firmware, you don't have this problem. The key you program are always work the way you expected them to. Even if you bring this keyboard to a new computer at work or whatever, it'll work. Okay, so that is why you want a programmable keyboard with a onboard memory, not Razer crap. Okay, Razer is the worst offender. Let me show you. So you go to never buy Razer. The Razer idiocy, the Razer, the gamers who don't know nothing. It's pretty. What they want, the gamers want is colors, RGB light, what crap. So you go buy Razer and they require you to install their software. Without their software, your keyboard sometimes doesn't even work. Well, something like that. Okay, so you have to install their software, but you also have to have internet connection, otherwise your key markers doesn't work. And you also, of course, you need to register a account, give all your personal information so they know, which application you are using at what time, they phone home. So Razor is the worst crap. Okay, never buy Razor. So that is why you want keyboard with memory, onboard memory and programmable. Okay, that's it about the keyboard. Okay, let's code. Oh shit, we talked already for 30 minutes. Let's start to code Emacs Lisp now. Okay, so let's go to so let's do Emacs Lisp now. So now, as I said, this is all new to me. So okay, so I'm using Xah keys. So let's see what is the command to show in browser. Okay, so we talked about the KEMOVE DK61 keyboard. Okay, now let's do Emacs Lisp coding. Okay, here's a few things I want to do. Okay, so first of all, let me show you Xah JavaScript mod. Okay, so you can magnify. Okay, Xah JavaScript in depth, Xah keys, Xah JavaScript mod. Okay, this is a fantastic mod. Yeah, God, I don't have my keys set up. So F11. Okay, so I need to turn off Power Toys, turn off the remapping of F11. So Keyboard Manager, F11. Okay, so I need to click on that. Then F11, delete that. F12, delete that. Okay. Okay, now F11, fantastic. Now I can finally toggle full screen. Okay, then I can switch. Good, fantastic. So Xah HTML. So here's a Xah JavaScript mod. Okay, and let's magnify. So magnify. So now it works. Okay, so let me demo. So I want to create. Let me show you. Okay, so let's create. What? Okay, so I want to create a I'm new on this keyboard. Okay, so now let's say console log 3 plus 4 plus 5. Okay, run it. You can see the answer is 9. Why is it? God, all my macro doesn't work. So anyway, here's the answer. Okay, so here's the JavaScript code. So the command I called is Xah run current file. That's part of Xah keys. Okay, so you can run any program, JavaScript, Python, Ruby, PHP. You can just run it. But now I want to add a feature to that. Okay, so why? Because let me show you a JavaScript code. So let's see, JavaScript. Okay, so array overview. Okay, so now copy the URL back to Emacs. Well, not that. God. Okay, all the keys are screwed up. Okay, anyway, so copy the URL back to here. Then I want to do, oh God, where's the delete key? Oh, F9. Yeah, okay, so expand the window. Now I want to do, oh yeah, open the file. Yeah. What is the key to open the file path in the clipboard? So space O, there it is. Okay, so you are looking at the source code of this HTML file. So now F9, let's see all the keys. So this is xah-HTML mod. Search for browser, open in browser, F9B, okay? Now close that, F9B, show in browser, okay? Good. Back to Emacs. Now, what I want to do, let's search for console. So over here, so you can see this section. Now let's press a key to remove the syntax highlighting. So you can see this is JavaScript code. It just console log type of array, trying to see what kind of thing is array, the type of array. So let's magnify. Okay, so now back to Emacs. Now let's call a command. Okay, pop that out into a window, into a buffer, then magnify. So now I can run this command, expand the window, run it. You can see the result is true. Okay, so the result is true. Now, but however, sometimes I don't want to always type console log. I want to just be able to type this. I want to be able to select the region and press a key and have the value of that printed out without me having to type console log. So that is the command I want to write right now. Okay, so let's go back to Xah Talk Show. Yeah, I don't know where am I. So now let's delete that, pop this back. Let's go to Talk Show, open it, F9B, show in browser. This is today's Talk Show, xah-js mod. So I want to write xah-js-eval-line. Okay, let's write it. xah-js-eval-line. Okay, copy it. So let's just do it right now. So Emacs Lisp, create a template, then open a buffer, pop it out, then D for defun. Okay, then paste, yeah, xah-eval JavaScript line. Okay, and documentation, put today's date, then let's say eval the current line in JavaScript, print result in messages buffer. Okay, that's the documentation. So first thing to do is to get the line beginning position and line end position. Okay, so let's say position 1, position 2, two variables. Okay, then set set P1 to to line beginning position. Okay, that returns the position of the line beginning. Okay, then similarly set p2 to line end position. Okay, then we want another variable. Let's just say line. Okay, let's just say code. Okay, let's say JavaScript code. Okay, then you say set set JavaScript code to buffer substring no properties. Okay, then give it I'm used to ergonomic keyboards, so I'm not used to this keyboard yet. So okay, now prettify the buffer. So we got the JavaScript code. So this JS code is a string that contains the current line. Okay, now we got a code. Now all we have to do is create a new file. We need to create a new file, a temp file, put the code there, then call a shell command to evaluate the JavaScript code. I'm using deno as a shell command. So can I show you? Yeah, all my keys doesn't work. So let's go to terminal. Okay, so you are looking at terminal, so you can see GCM, which is get command name, get command, GCM deno, DENO. Okay, let's magnify. Okay, so deno is a JavaScript. Deno is basically the better version of Node.js. It's created by the same guy after 10 years. He got, Node.js got corrupted by a scum, with npm and stuff. That guy is not a good guy. So, but the original creator of Node.js, Ryan Dahl, he created deno, okay, which is a much better JavaScript runtime. And also, it also runs TypeScript by default, okay? And one single binary is fantastic, okay? Get deno. So I use deno to evaluate JavaScript in Emacs. So what we need to do is like you call a shell command and deno with a file name that will run the JavaScript code. But first of all, we need to create a file, okay? Let's say, okay, how do you create a file in Emacs? Well, let's look at my tutorial because so just search for Xah Emacs Lisp. Search for Xah Emacs Lisp tutorial. Then you want to, right now the problem is to create a file. Okay, there are many ways. I can do find file, but it may not be the best way. Let's forget about what's the best way. Since I'm doing a video, so let's just do it quickly. So let's switch back to where's our file? Yeah, there is our file. So yeah, actually with temp file, okay, that's how you create a file. You can find the tutorial here. Read file, write file. So write file, create a new file. Yeah, so this is the best way in Emacs Lisp to create a file, okay, with temp file. So and file name will be just a random name in current directory for now, okay? Let's just say xx. Yeah. Okay, let's just say that .js for now, and body will be let's create a file name. Okay, so we need a variable fname. Okay, so okay, so this needs to be here. Set file name. Let's just say that this is not the proper way, because every time you call this, you actually need a different file name. But let's, but we are just prototyping this. So yeah, so now we got the file name, prettify the code. Now with temp file name, then insert. So now Emacs will create a buffer. That's what with temp file does. So it creates a buffer. We need to insert our JavaScript code. Okay, so insert it into the buffer. Then that's it. Okay, Emacs will create a file with that content. Then the next thing we need to do is call deno. Call deno to evaluate this. Okay, so what we can do is shell command. Okay, deno, I believe it's deno run file name, something like that. Okay, so output buffer, we don't care. Error buffer, we don't care. Okay, so we have to check what exactly is the deno syntax. There are so many ways to do it. So we can see, we can do deno help. Okay, so let's, so deno help. So to run a program, do you need to, so you have to say run, that's right, over here. Okay, so deno run and file name. Okay, file name is a variable, so we need to say format. Okay, format, and file name will be a variable. Okay, a placeholder. Okay, so then you say right, what is the my Emacs command for hippie expand? God, with the new keyboard everything, it doesn't work. What? Yeah, what? It should be this key. Backslash. What about slash? Let's try slash. Yeah. So the command name is hippie expand. Oh, Control T. No. Okay, so let's just use that then. What? No expansion found. What? Oh, FN. Control T. Okay. Anyway, so format deno run, Control T. Yeah, I think that's it. Format. So you call deno and you run the file name. Okay. Okay, let's do that. Okay, eval the buffer. Now we just go to a JavaScript file. Let's go back to a JavaScript file. Where's our JavaScript file? Let's pop this out. Where's JavaScript? Okay, so here, so we popped it out. Yeah. What? Oh. Okay. So we want to run, let's say 4 plus 3, okay, 4 plus 4, okay. We want to run this line, okay. So now we can call xah JavaScript eval-line. Please do it. Okay, run type argument integer or marker p. Okay, let's go back to our Emacs Lisp. Something is not correct. What? Let's go back to Emacs Lisp. Close that. Okay, so what's the message? The error message is so the error message is set queue, wrong type of set queue. Oh yeah, the P1 here is a typo, okay, it should be P2. Okay, eval the buffer. Now let's go back to the JavaScript code, okay? Magnify a bit. Now call the command xah-js-eval-line. Please, command succeed with no output. Okay, now let's go to the message buffer. Oh, I forgot. That's right. So our command works, okay? But why is it not printing anything? Of course, because you don't have a console log. You see, that's why it's kind of tricky. You have to add the print statement yourself. So let's do it. Let's go back to the Emacs Lisp code. Where's the Emacs Lisp code? So we actually need to to add a console log to our Emacs Lisp code. So here the insert, let's make a format of it, and inside it will be a console log, okay, then console log something, and that something is the JavaScript code. That's right. Okay, prettify the code. That should work. Okay, eval the buffer, switch back to JavaScript. Okay, now go here, call xah-js-eval-line. Fantastic, something wrong. Okay, it prints out some funky thing. Oh god, I know why. Yeah, deno. You see, here's the output. Let me magnify. You see, we evaluated 4 plus 4, so the result should be 8. Now, if you look at the output, indeed, there's 8 over there. But what's that 33M and, 39M? That's color. That's the terminal, that's a control character. As ASCII control character for coloring the output. So, the deno command is actually creating a colored output. So what we do, so we have to find if there's an option in deno to stop it from creating colored output. Because when you create color output in terminal, that essentially means you are printing out lots of control characters, invisible control characters. So let me show you, if you don't know what this means, let me show you this article, okay? Just search for xah ASCII characters. This article explains in detail what are the control characters means. Now, if you are a programmer, understanding ASCII characters thoroughly is very important. Eventually, you need to do it. If you've been programming for a few years, eventually in your third year or whatever, you have to understand in detail fully what ASCII characters are and what are all the issues. For example, what is a code point? What is hexadecimal representation? What is a standard abbreviation? What is unprintable characters or control characters? What do they mean? So you have to understand this. Read it. So because if you don't understand this, then today I wouldn't know what the fuck is this. I would start to Google 33M and that likely you won't find it would be hard. For example, let's do it. Okay, so yeah, which is my key? Oh yeah, so this key, we'll Google that. So you see, you are trying to Google this, it will be hard. But because I have some experience in programming, so I know it's these control characters are for coloring. Okay, so now actually we need to fix this, because otherwise this is not acceptable. So we need to find a deno option to tell it to stop using color. It has been no color. There it is, set to disable color. Fantastic. Environment variables. Fuck. Okay, so you actually have to use a environment variable. I don't want to use an environment variable, because environment variable, especially from Unix, Linux, is the worst fuck possible, because that's state. That's basically everything functional programming are avoiding, and the environment variable is one of the worst problem. They are essentially global variables. So I try to not use environment variables at all. In Bash, in PowerShell, do not use environment variables. It's implicit hell. Okay, that's my advice to you guys. Okay, I think that's it for today. Well, except we need to fix this. So if you have a question for me, tag me, okay? Okay, one of the suggestion is set the terminal to interpret the color properly and output it. Okay, that's not the correct solution. Why? Because the terminal, well, that's one of the part. Let me show you. Okay, so let's comment this 4 plus 4 out, and let's just run this. You see, run it. You see, now you can see the answer here. Now let's magnify. 9, and it's colored yellow. That's what Deno is doing. I don't like it. So it's actually, Emacs is actually interpreting the color code correctly. But however, the problem is, I guess, okay, so what, yeah, I actually, good suggestion. We can do it that way. So there are 2 solutions. One solution is just use the environment variables to tell Deno not use color, but I want the option instead. Is there one? Let's see, help run, okay? Deno help run. So where is it? Config cache only. Quiet seed unstable. VA flag. Watch. Okay, so lots of features. We don't see a no color. Yeah, it's annoying. But anyway, I very much respect and trust whatever the Ryan Dow is doing. He's a great guy, and his code, he's a great, very smart. He's a mathematician, by the way. So anyway, so we cannot find, apparently there's no option, no parameter for deno run to not use color. But there's an environment variable instead. But I don't really want to use that. Anyway, that's one of the solution, okay? We have to look into deeper, okay? So that's one of the possible solution. The other solution is to find out why is that Emacs Lisp is not interpreting the color correctly while in a message buffer, okay? So we can, because obviously it worked here. So all we have to do is now just look at xah run file, xah run current file to see what is it doing that works correctly. So here's a command, xah run current file. It calls a shell command and it creates an output buffer. Okay, I think that's why. So shell command output buffer. Now where is the output buffer? Okay, so okay here. So let's use a variable. Okay, so now let's go back to the JavaScript code, to the Emacs Lisp code, and let's add a variable output buffer, and let's move this set q into the variable list. Okay, so we can do that. So we don't need the setQ, a bunch of setQ here anymore. Fantastic. So P1 we don't need, P2 we don't need, JS code we don't need, fname we don't need. We have it here. So this way is kind of more clean code. Whenever, so here's a tip for Emacs Lisp. Whenever you have a bunch of variables and they are kind of constant, and the code, their value is very simple, you can embed them in the variable declaration. You don't have to use setQ. So okay, so now we have a new variable output buffer name. So now we can just say shell command, give it to the option shell command. So here's a syntax for shell. So let's copy it here. So okay. So the syntax for shell, then okay, so shell command, then output buffer. Okay, there, that's it. That's all we have to do is just add it there. So prettify the code. Okay, let's prettify the code and prettify the whole thing. Okay, evaluate it back to the JavaScript and uncomment this 4+4 and now call xah-js-eval-line. Symbols value as variable is void. Okay, we did something. Oh, okay, we did some fuck up here. So you see, we are declaring several variables, P1 and P2. But when it comes to JS code, it relies on the value of P1 and P2. So, but if you are using let, that doesn't work. The latter values do not know the previous value. So you have to use let star. That's the difference. So when you use let star, then that work. Okay. So evaluate the buffer back to the JavaScript code. Now call the command xah-js-eval-line. Do it. It worked, but same problem. So why is the output buffer not work? We have it output buffer. Let's see. Shell command then output buffer. Oh, so we have to wait, what's going on? Let with temp file. So that creates a file. Then we call shell command. Then here's a command. Then we say the output buffer should be this. Okay. Now evaluate the buffer. Now go back to JavaScript. Now call xah-js-eval-line. Do it. It's not popping out output buffer. So wait, it is. Okay, so let's switch to xah run output. Yeah, it's same problem, you see. So why is it, okay, so why is it in, let's call xah run current file. So why is it work here? So let's check. Xah run current file. Shell command, command string, output buffer. Oh wait, so this is JavaScript. Wait, so so that's Wolfram script, Wolfram language. So we're talking about JavaScript. Shell command. So if the file is Emacs Lisp, then just call load. If the file is Golang, then call xah run current Go file. If the file name is Wolfram language script, Wolfram language Mathematica, then you do, you run this code. You call Wolfram script to run it. If the file is Java, if the file name ends in .java, you need to do something special because the file name needs to be the same as the class name. Now, but otherwise, this is a general. So otherwise, shell command. Okay. So shell command string output buffer. So why is it? So why is it not work? Deno run file name. Yeah, so you run the file. That's a command, okay? Then output buffer. So why is it not outputting to output buffer? Let's change the name to KK1. Okay, let's see. Run it, eval the buffer. Now call xah-js-eval-line. Do it. Same thing. Now switch to the buffer KK1. You see, same thing. Yeah, I don't know. I have to figure out. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my stuff, buy my stuff. Okay, buy my stuff. If you have questions to ask me, ask right now. Okay, buy my stuff. Patreon me, PayPal me. Buy my Emacs tutorial. And we shut down in 5 minutes. So, but anyway, so this code is now working. But the problem is the output with the color, the coloring annoying shit. And there are other things we need to do. For example, the file name needs to be a random on the fly. Okay, let's just fix it now. Okay, so the file name needs to be, let me show you. Okay, the file name needs to be format string and format start with X, then .js, then a random number, okay, then a random number. So the random number will be actually usually I put today's date, so but anyway, so let's just say random from 0 to 999, okay, then yeah, so let's try to run that. Okay, let's give it to let's say, okay, let's say that run it 7715555155. That's good. Okay, so file name. Then once you evaluate the code, you also need to delete the file. So you say delete file. What is going on? The Bluetooth problem. What? Wait. Okay, so something is wrong. I just turned off the keyboard, but wow, Windows screwed up. Wow, Windows Bluetooth screwed up. Because normally there would be a on and off button for Bluetooth, but Windows Bluetooth just crashed. You see, it doesn't appear here either. Problem. Bye guys.